So one of the perks of being an entrepreneur is you've got flexibility in your schedule, and you're able to fly, and then use the airplane for fun. And I've been blessed to be flying for about 2 years now. It's always been a lifelong dream, and use the airplane a lot for work. As I've mentioned on the channel, I founded iUnit Communities over 10 years ago, and our focus is building modular, energy efficient, affordable housing. And so it's great to have the airplane to go look at potential deals, which is what I'm doing today on this beautiful day, and also meet great people. There's great people in aviation everywhere. Just stopped here this local airport here in Virginia, and just was chatting with the young lady who was a flight attendant and switched over to being a pilot. And she took advantage of COVID to start her flight training, and actually just completed it, and she's got all her hours to start working at the commercial airlines. So it's great career as well. And again, being an entrepreneur, there's days that you work really hard, and there's days that you get to do a little bit of fun and mix it with work and go fly. And you don't need to have a business jet. I don't have a jet. I own a small plane, and that's good enough. Don't fall for the media and society and all the bling bling that you need to own a jet to be happy or to be quote unquote successful in business or as an entrepreneur. If you want to fly and you want to be a pilot and you want to be in aviation, you don't need to have a jet to do that. Again, I've got a small plane that obviously wasn't free, cost me some money, but compared to a jet is peanuts. And it's enough for me to have a blast and enjoy a beautiful day like this, flying and going what I love to do, looking at real estate, meeting new people. And so that's more important, and that's something that you should focus on, instead of falling into the money trap, into it's never enough, into the next thing, or even some folks, in the airplane world, they're always thinking about the next plane. It's always, what's the next plane? This is the last plane that if it's the first and only plane that I'll ever own, I'm completely happy. I don't need to have a jet to be happy or to quote unquote feel successful. That's just not me. And that's also part of this YouTube channel, and kind of the message that I want to leave, for my kids and next generations coming up is, and I'm just tired of that message. A lot of the business message online on YouTube, is, showing off the jets and the cars and the big houses and all that. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. And if you want those things, sure, have at it, but I guarantee you that alone will not bring you happiness. I mean, it might feel great, specifically that one item for the first couple of days you've owned it, but after that, it'll just be back to you being who you are. And I remember this quote from a movie. I forget the name of the movie, but I remember the quote: "If you're not enough without it, you'll never be enough with it." And I just think that's so true, and that applies to all these material things. And again, I realize I have an airplane, but on the food chain of airplanes, mine is at the bottom, and that's okay. That's completely all right. I don't need to have a jet again to feel happy. And same for boats. I like to sail. Grew up sailing, and used to have a little sailboat a couple years ago, and I think it cost me $1,200 worth of trailer to buy. Was the little sailboat that I had, and that was enough to enjoy boating and to go out just on the bay with the kids. I didn't need to have a $40 million yacht to feel like I'm enjoying being out on the ocean. And that's the mentality that I think you should have with everything in life. Moderation, the middle way. That's really I think is a healthier way to live. And And so back to what I said in my early videos, and will continue to do so, is if you want to be an entrepreneur, do it because you enjoy, what you're going to do, the industry you're working on. And don't just do it because AI right now is big, and there's there's a lot of money to be made in there. So you're gonna go do that when you just don't enjoy it. It's not gonna work. I mean, even if you got lucky and it did, you're not gonna be happy. So find something that, I always tell people, go back to how you were as a kid. What did you enjoy? For me, like I love playing with Legos as a kid. My brother had video games. I played a little bit. It wasn't my thing. So when I graduated college in the early 2000s, that was really all the crazy. The internet was coming out. A lot of people were going after that to make money. It just wasn't my thing. Building, I've always liked to enjoy building things, Legos, and so that's what drew me to real estate. And then eventually, all those years later, drew me to start iUnit Communities, focusing on using modular to build affordable housing. And it's really cool because I tell people I used to play with Legos as a kid, and now I play with the real life-size Legos that we used to basically build houses and build apartment buildings with. So it's right up my alley. It's what I was already doing as a kid when I wasn't getting paid for it. What were you doing as a kid? What was that thing you really enjoyed doing, right? That you were just doing naturally as a kid. If it's playing video games, that's great. There's tremendous, obviously, need for programmers and technologists, and so we need that as well. It takes all types of people to make a world work. And so just listen to yourself. Listen to the things that, pay attention to the things that you enjoyed as a kid, and focus on that. Here's an airplane coming into land. I don't know if you can see it further there. But anyways, just make sure you stay true to yourself. And I know, as cliche as that sounds, I know it sounds really cliche, they're so true. And sometimes you might deviate, you might take a left turn, it's the wrong turn. And you might have to come back to the right to find your center again. That's okay. Life is about learning, experimenting, obviously, and the big picture is being of service. And so don't be in a rush, especially when you're young. It's easy for me to say, because I remember when I was coming out of college, I was in a rush to make it, to have society, quote unquote, say Bryce's success, the validation, all this stuff. And I guess because I've had some of that, and kind of the monkeys off my back a bit, actually a big way on that, you realize that that's really all overrated. You don't need any of that. Let's see if that airplane's gonna come in. Yeah, there he comes. You'll be able to see him land. So if you guys want to be pilots, I can't, recommend it enough, especially in the U.S. I mean, what a gift that, we got so many airports that we can land at. And here's this guy coming in. You probably see him now, starting to come in. There he goes. Not much wind today. All right, guys. Well, thanks for letting me share some of my thoughts. As always, comment, like, subscribe. That's really what helps drive the conversation. So many things that I want to share with you guys, like the questions I can answer, so many different rabbit holes and all these businesses that I've started, that I've owned. I'm going to try to do my best. And as I said yesterday in the video, I think this is probably my 10th video I've posted, and I haven't had a single view. It's just fine. It's fine, but it shows you that in business, it's not because you have an idea. Here I had one day late last year, actually it's been a while, but last year I was like, I'm finally going to do it in 2024 to start sharing knowledge. Well, look, it takes time. I mean, I haven't had a single view, and that's okay. At least the content is out there, and people can do what they wish with it. Again, big part of this, me wanting to do this is for my kids to be able to look back and see, the things I believed in and I tried to do and I worked on. And so if somebody else can benefit from it, then that's great, because life is to be of service in anything you do. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.